It has come to this. Let's do the news, as I said.
Right, the news. And, of course, we have been off the air for a while.
God, he is such a child.
Yeah, where is he anyway?
I don't know, in the audience somewhere, flicking people's ears and blaming people next. Oh, here
Excuse me.
Hi. Some of the child...
What?
You wearing that for a bet?
Yeah. Anyway, Lewis Hamilton. He's done it. World champion. What a man. What a man. Or... twice on the trot. Yeah. Still, never mind, Lewis. Next year, third time lucky.
Why do we record this on a Wednesday?
I've no idea.
Because if we did it on a Sunday, we'd know that by now.
I know, it is just the end of the world. I tell you what, if we recorded on a Sunday, we'd know who'd won Strictly Come Dancing, and then we could tell everybody. Now, OK, there's been a financial crisis. Is it the first time you've heard of it? What happened, in essence, as far as I can work out, is that I think because we were off the air, everyone got bored, so banks started lending money they hadn't got to other banks that gave the non-existent money to Mexicans in Southern California who couldn't pay it back. And now, as a result of that, your cars are all worthless.
Yeah.
I think what I've done there is summarise the financial crisis quite well.
Covered it off nicely.
I was having dinner the other night with a man, and we were talking about the financial problems, and he said he bought a Volkswagen Phaeton, OK, the 5-litre V10, OK? Paid £60,000 for it 18 months ago, just been offered 17.
How?
That's £85 a day depreciation on a Volkswagen.
You're going to feel that.
You wake up in the morning, I'm £85 worse off and haven't even started yet.
I can beat that.
Oh, really?
Yes. The Aston Martin V8 Vantage, a nice one, £88,000 list price. We know somebody who's got one of these, actually.
Yeah,
Who
we
is
do.
it?
It's, hang on, it's not...
It's not
oh,
you.
no, it's the Clarksons.
That's it. I knew somebody.
I'm not going to enjoy this, am I?
No, do carry on, please.
No, a car just like yours.
The one you've got.
It was £88,000 new with a few extras on it. Guess how much that was worth a year later?
Go on,
What?
James.
£44,000.
Half its value gone.
Yeah. Halved its... Has anyone here got a V8 Vantage?
Oh, wonderful.
Well, you're all better off as a result.
Has anybody here got a Vanquish?
Here?
Yeah.
No, because they're here, James.
That's very true. That's even worse. That's £175,000. Guess how much that car was worth after 10,000 miles? Guess how much you got for it?
No idea.
£50,000.
That's 125 grand in 10,000.
Yep.
So that means if his nearest shop is 2 miles away and he pops out for a pint of milk, that's 50 quid.
Yep.
Just because of the...
£50 for a pint...
That's £50 in depreciation. That doesn't include, you know, tyre wear, petrol, insurance, milk.
That's a lot of... You see, I get my milk from the back of a cow. It's much cheaper.
The back of it, that's not milk.
I'm not going to let my wife under a cow.
It's not just Astons, OK? Mercedes-Benz CL600, the big coupe.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
How much do you think it's worth now?
Well, that's...
Well, it depends on a million things. Like, is it baby diarrhea brown?
No, it's black.
Has it done a million miles?
No, it's done 30,000 miles.
So a 4-year-old, they were 100 grand, those things, about 4 years ago, about 100 grand?
Yeah.
So £100,000, 4 years old, 30,000 miles, in black, with extras, 50.
55.
16.
60.
16.
16,000?
He got £16,000 for it.
I'd have given him 16 and a half.
I'd have gone to 70.
Are you watching? Yeah, you sold it cheap. I'll tell you exactly what's happened here, all right? Since 1993, the whole world's been, well, with flashcards anyway, has been playing musical chairs, OK? And the music's just stopped, so whatever car you've got now, or house, that's it, for life. James, bad news. The Dacia Sandero.
The what?
The Dacia Sandero is not coming to the UK.
Oh. Now, British car... British sports car makers, heroic chaps in sheds, they've always been able to pretty much melt your heart with their creativity, with the fantastic swooping curves of an E-Type Jaguar or an Aston Martin DB7. And now there's a new British sports car, and here it is.
Good grief. Is that the car or the shed he built it in with some wheels?
It's the Jetstream SC250. It cost you £30,000 and it's made in Cornwall.
Is it made out of tin?
No.
Is it made out of clotted cream?
No.
Strawberry wheels.
Does it spend every night on Harlem Bay trying to snog public schoolgirls while smoking marijuana?
Hey?
None of these jokes are working with this audience,
No.
but they are in my house.
I know what you mean.
Yes. Actually, I have to say, I do feel for the poor bloke who's launched this, because with the best will in the world, and I do wish you all the best, but I think, frankly, you...
Are you saying that all British sports car manufacturers who optimistically set up in a shed and think they can do better than Porsche go bust?
What, like TVR?
Yes.
Marcos.
Yes.
Strap-Karen?
Yes.
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 E-front?
Yes. Yes.
Ginetta?
No.
Are Ginetta's still going?
They are.
Well, there's hope for him yet. It's a really good report in the papers this week, OK? And in Shropshire, somebody went to one of those speed cameras, put a tyre over it, a blanket over the top of the whole ensemble, and then poured petrol on it and set it alight, OK? Fire brigade spokesman said it was, and I'm quoting, a deliberate attack. Now, listen, a lot of, in the current financial crisis, OK, a lot of people won't be going on holiday next year to the Caribbean or indeed anywhere even remotely exotic. But don't worry, because I think I've come up with a solution for you.
Good grief.
Check it out. It's a company in the Isle of Wight that's modified a Citroën by fitting it with a hat.
Yeah.
Do you know it costs £19,000?
What's that? Is that a window? Or do you sort of unzip it, climb in, and then put your head through it? Look, I've come as a Citroën!
It is, it's like one of those things that Ponty's gone, kids, stick your face through the Citroën. But £19,000...
For a Citroën cost.
And it only has one bed.
Well,
I'm not bothered about that because Honda has made an even better car, right? Here it is. Now, check that out.
What?
how does that work?
Well, basically, these things, the silver things, kind of move up and down and operate your legs, so for going upstairs or even walking on level ground. Now, guess who this is aimed at?
Well, I'm guessing people with disabilities with legs. I mean, that would be a very...
No.
That's a clever piece of technology.
Wrong. It's aimed at the able-bodied.
Well, why?
It's the Rotherham robot. You don't even have to walk to the chip shop anymore now, you just carried on that.
Well, what's the point in that?
Well, hang on, no. How fast does it go?
Dunno.
Because I was at school in Rotherham and I could have done with that in cross-country.
If you had one of those, mate, I'd love to have the remote control for it.
Yeah. Captain Blur.
Look at him go! Oh, James, not in the scissor factory, you'll hurt yourself.
Can you kick yourself in the nuts?
Yes, let's find out. Many times. Bang, bang, bang.
We're definitely going to get you one of those.
With the
Thank you.
remote control.
Yeah. Now, Jeff Hoon, OK, is the Transport Minister, yes? And he announced this week that he wants to have more average speed cameras on the roads, OK, because he says they're good for safety and they reduce fuel consumption. Now, this is the same Jeff Hoon who, when he was Defence Secretary, said, and I'm quoting, "We know that Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction."
So you must be right about the speed cameras as well, then.
Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you what he's done, OK, because he claims he goes on the M1 a lot in those roadworks. You know, round junction 6, 8, they're up there. They've been doing them for, well, since 1850.
Forever.
Yeah, just been doing it for... Average speed cameras on that, and he says, well, there you are, you see, there's hardly been any accidents. That's because the roads are jammed up.
Not moving.
Then you can't crash when you're stationary.
Soon, though, we'll be able to... we'll have that Tory transport bloke.
Whose name is? Who?
It's a funny name for a bloke.
Teresa Villiers. How can you know that?
Because he is Teresa whatever.
Because there's only a finite amount of space for information in your head. So if he's got that in it, what's come out?
How to dress properly.
Well done, Teresa. So it's actually this man's a woman. I think that's fascinating, because she hasn't really got any policies across that we've ever seen.
Well, not that we've heard of, obviously.
So we've had to come up with some of our own. A better system than the average speed camera, OK? Have a look at this. So this is real. This is in Denmark. Look what they're doing there.
It's brilliant.
Give me one good reason why that won't work.
You'd slow down.
I'd slow right down.
Yeah.
Once again, Top Gear rides to the rescue of the nation. What's next, guys?
I want to talk about Aston Martin brought out a new car. It's the 177. Here it is. It's a striking-looking thing, I know. And I think it goes to show just how in tune with the times Aston Martin are. It really is a car for the moment. 7.3-litre V12.
Oh, I'm glad about that. I must get 100 calls a day from people saying, I've got to have at least 7.3 litres and 12 cylinders. That's what I want right now.
Very much of the moment, absolutely. Price, £1.2 million.
Oh,
And
good
that's
thinking.
just right now.
Literally this morning, 30 people called up. I'm not spending a penny more than 1.2 mil on my next car.
Aston have got it bang on right, because as we know, the world right now is full of stockbrokers desperate for something to blow their enormous bonus on. And there it is.
Pretty soon, Aston Martin are going to be selling more key rings than they are cars. Or making more money from them, at least.
Actually, they say that that 100 potential customers have written to them to express their interest.
100?
Yeah. Written in crayon, I suspect.
Great news! They've done an off-road version of the Dacia Sandero. Don't be fooled by the Renault badge, that's the Dacia, that baby.
What the hell are you on about?
It's Dacia. It's a Dacia. I know it says Renault, I just said that. Have you got a beard in your ears as well, or is... Why do ginger people always grow more of it on their faces? They do.
Can I just ask, you see the show last week? Will Young was the guest. And I don't know if anybody else noticed, but when he first sat down, it was sort of, Jeremy was not really bothered, he didn't know his name, didn't know what to talk about. Next minute, he's going all doe-eyed looking at him, talking about interior design. Oh, Will, I love cushions as well. I'm having my house done up. Really? And you had a Mini? They're lovely, Will. Jeremy's in love.
Are you suggesting Will Young is gay?
Yeah, he is.
You're kidding?
Yes.
Is he?
To be honest, it was beautiful to watch.
It's just my gaydar doesn't work as well as yours, obviously. That jacket. How big was the bet?
Pretty big.
OK, now, I want you to look at this. This is a field of unsold Range Rovers. Now, do you know why they're unsold?
Well, nobody's got any money at the moment.
No. Look at the colours. That's the range of colour that Land Rover does. Now, if you go down to Homebase to paint your walls, you can have any colour you like for a £5.
Actually, you can go in with that jacket. Well, maybe not. You could go in with this shirt and you could say, I want that colour, but a bit more orange, and they scan it with a thing.
Exactly. And it's just not good enough now. Okay, look at this. What I've got here is the Audi brochure, OK, for the A8, a £70,000 car here, OK? Range of colours available. There you go.
They printed it in black and white.
That's it,
They're
OK?
not colours.
For an extra £2,400, they will paint it in any colour you like from that chart.
That's just a spectrum?
Yes.
Oh, sir wants it in visible light, does
There
he,
you
sir?
go. So
There you go.
if you want your car in colour, £2,400. If you want it in black and white, it's just ridiculous.
Well, what you need to do, look, is buy a BMW X5, because they understand this problem. They have a special range, which they call BMW Individual. The higher your standards, the less room there is for compromise. As an upshot of that, they offer it in black, silver, silver and black.
Gentlemen, as you're getting all hot under your tweed collars about this one, can I just say, I know a little bit about this, and the reason that car manufacturers... Well, they have to plan their paint colours years in advance because they have to test to make sure that each colour works on the plastic, say, of the bumpers, and on the metal of the body. On those two materials, it comes out the same... They do.
Rubbish. What you say, it has to be the same colour, whether it's on plastic or metal?
Yes.
No, because I was painting my sitting room the other day, and the paint was exactly the same colour on the wall as it was on the wooden skirting board, and on my hand, and on the sole of my shoe, and subsequently on the stair carpet, all exactly the same colour. Can I really want to show you this. This is the Mercedes CLK. Can you see down here? These are soft top fabric, OK?
Yeah.
Do you want to know what it says underneath? Cabriolet only.
Oh.
Speak. Several stylish Italian mechanics are looking at the engine in the Zonda, hoping they can coax some life into it. And maybe, just maybe later on, we'll be able to bring you a lap of that as well.
Yeah, and then we'll see.
Zonda versus Bugatti.
Then we'll see, then we'll sort it out. Right, now, we've always thought there's absolutely no reason for anyone to own a Peugeot.
Hang on.
See?
No, I can't. Anyone here got a Peugeot?
Yeah.
Why? Who said yes? There, why have you got a Peugeot? It was given to you.
Damn, that's the reason.
What sort of Peugeot is it? 306. They're lovely. No, really, apart from being given one, I can't think of a single reason.
Well, thing is, Peugeot have decided to address this, and I think they have with this. It's the partner TP. No, bear with me. You see, here's the reason. Because they fitted it with a roof box, which kind of goes inside over the seats like that. And they say it's ideal for storing long, thin things in, like a surfboard. So, what they're saying is, if you are a surfer who wants a car with a loft, you can keep your surfboard in.
Yeah, are there any surfers here? Yes, there are. Who's a surfer? Do you like to keep it dry? Because that's what it's how many surfers are there? I don't like getting my surfboard wet. It's just...
It's not going well, is it?
It isn't going well.
Still no reason to own one.
But, Peugeot fans, this has a big brother called the Expert TP. There it is. No, listen. They say that this is designed for the family, the 3-children family, where one child plays a drum kit, one plays a tuba, and one plays a double bass.
Well, they're not actually that specific about it.
Yes, they are.
Well, what sort of band are those kids in, anyway? Must be the National Youth Salvation Army Dixieland Jazz Band Orchestra of Great Britain or something.
No, it's why is it called a teepee that fascinates me. Unless the Americans are going to come and steal it and let you build a casino where it used to be.
How much is it, anyway?
Oh, I don't care. I just couldn't give a damn. If your sister gives you one of those, just say no, all right? You know Boris Johnson, OK, Mayor of London? I was driving around behind a bus this week and I took a photograph of the message he's put on it, OK? This is from the Mayor of London and it says, amazing, changing gears at lower revs reduces your CO2 emissions and saves you money. I was then reading GQ magazine, OK? A road test here of a Ferrari 430 and it says, the essence of it, in my view, is not to change up until you hit about 6,000 revs. This was written by somebody called Boris Johnson.
Jeremy?
Yeah.
The slippers?
Yeah.
Are they there?
Of course they're a bet.
God for that.
Oh, big news.
Is it the Dacia Sandero?
No. It's the European Car of the Year 2008 is the replacement for the Vauxhall Vectra. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vauxhall Insignia.
You had to look that up then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, you forgot what it was called.
Well, the weird thing is, the 3 of us were being driven around in one of these last week, and, be honest, we didn't actually notice what it was.
No, seriously, I was in that with back and forth to a show we were doing for 3 days, and I thought it was a Renault. I can remember one thing about it. It had very hard seats.
Yes, it did.
Actually, you can't criticise those because a German panel of seat experts have declared...
A what? There's a German
There's
panel?
a German panel of seat experts.
And I've invited them all to your house for Christmas.
Oh, God! Where would you put them? Have a sit... No, stand up. Well, anyway, they have voted to give it their coveted accolade for the quality of the seats. They've praised the quality of the
that's
seats.
rubbish. It's like those people that say you've got to eat natural yoghurt because it's good for you. It's like, and you get those people who go, I like a hard bed, it's good for your spine. It isn't.
I hate hard beds.
I do like a hard bed, actually.
No, I'm sorry, Richard. Can anyone think of one thing in the world which is better hard than soft?
Well, that's quite awkward, actually, there, Jeremy.
What? Ice.
You got us out of it.
Yeah, well, thanks for getting us out of that one, mate.
Right, now, can we move on, please?
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. And now, the news. And And it's great news, ladies and gentlemen. It's news to warm the hearts of nations. Jeremy Clarkson has lost his voice.
Oh, mate, I'm sorry. I know. Imagine how we feel. Oh. They're gutted, mate. They're gutted. But the good news is that means we can talk about whatever we like and say whatever we like. So, no, let's... Yeah, whatever. So, let's get on with the news. And I thought we'd start this week with talking about this magazine called Heat. Oh, yeah. Every year, they do a survey in which they ask the whole world to tell them their sort of weirdest crush, their strangest, freakiest, oddest, most embarrassing, ridiculous person to fancy. And, well, do you want to guess who's... He's won it, ladies and gentlemen. Look, here he is. Look at that. Yeah. #1 weird crush. And the other thing, ladies and gentlemen, in the same magazine, this is actually quite poetic in the romance, because he's in the same magazine as his boyfriend, look! Oh, Will Young. And he loves him so much. So, Jeremy, you must be... I'm really pleased that you should share magazine space with Will Young, your boyfriend.
You know what he did the other day, when he still had his voice? He came into the office and he went, "Oh, have you heard Will's new single? It's fantastic."
Yeah, he loves it. He went
Will.
on about it all the time. I love Bill's new song. He does.
I just say...
Oh, it speaks. or sort of squeaks. Is that...
No.
Oh, that's just a noise that you deflated. What's that? Synthetic saliva. Do you need...
It means that I have just a few minutes speaking.
Oh. So you need more saliva? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've no doubt we can oblige with that. How do you know it's synthetic and it isn't just some bloke...
You shut up for a kick-off as well.
What?
What is that noise you're making?
Have you seen his eye? He's got the biggest eye infection I've ever seen. At least I don't look like a mutant.
Has it come to this? So I'm working with these two. This isn't a television programme anymore, it's a colony.
I tell you what, instead of hurling abuse at each other, why don't we do the news?
Yes, let's do the news.
Good news, OK? We haven't been asked to do the commentary on the Formula One coverage on the BBC next year.
Yeah, it's a relief.
Good.
No, it's good news.
Especially now.
What they've brought Martin Brundle over from ITV. That's fantastic. We'll be able to watch the slow march of his trousers up his stomach. They've got Eddie Jordan. He's going to be a pundit. That's fantastic. Eddie's a great guy. David Coulthard, though, is the other pundit, and that worries me, because I think that means that on lap 2 of every race, your telly will suddenly go off. Or it'll just fall off the stand for no reason. Why has he done that?
Apparently, they've got Murray Walker involved.
They have Murray Walker's coming back to the BBC.
He is? Yeah. No, bless him.
It's his good news.
Did you know, though, he's 84?
I know he'll be going to Silverstone going, we're all trees here when I were a lad.
Ferrari's pulled in for their first pit stop. Let's go over to Murray Walker. Murray, can someone change me bag? It's full again. Bless him, but at 84, to be commentating on F1, that's pretty cool. You won't be commentating on anything, look.
I've just thought, OK, I want to move it on. You know the Duchess of York, OK, Sarah Ferguson? She recently sold her Jaguar, which has ended up in the hands of, well, it was in the papers this week, the hands of a cabbie, Steve Coulson, 31 of the north somewhere. Now, he's gone to the papers because he found that she's left all the addresses she's been to in the sat-nav still programmed into the system. He's saying, OK, what if I'd been a terrorist? This car is a suicide bomber's dream. Now, one of the addresses in there is Windsor Castle.
Well...
Another, Buckingham Palace. I think some people know where those things are already.
No, don't laugh. This is a national security nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
And also, he has inadvertently made himself the world's most hunted man, because I'm presuming he's looked at this sat-nav.
Yeah.
He's seen the address of
He knows where Windsor Castle.
Well, every terrorist organisation in the world is going to be after him for his lethal secret knowledge. I think there's only one decent course of action here.
What?
Behave with honour. Well, assuming he has destroyed it now, that's fine. He has read it. Therefore, he must kill himself and take his knowledge to the grave.
Now, there's a new Mini convertible. It's got better engines, bigger boot. But the thing that caught my eye is it's fitted with something called an openometer. I'm not making this up. An openometer, which tells you how much you've driven it with the roof off.
Well, what's the point in that? You may as well have a dial that tells you how many times you've driven it through Leicester.
Why is it important to know how many miles you drove with the roof up and how many you drove with the roof down? It makes no sense.
Well, it isn't, but do you remember Chevrolet on the early Corvettes? They had a little dial that showed you how many revs the engine had done.
Revs?
From new. Revs, yeah.
What, going around at 5,000 RPM? It would have to be wider than the car just to get the dial in.
Well, I worked it out for my old Porsche, actually.
You what?
My old Porsche was 25 years old. I worked out that it had done 8.4 times 10 to the 8 revs.
You worked that out?
Yes.
For your car? You
Yes.
spent time... Wow, so you must actually have done everything there is to do in the whole world to get to the bottom of the list of everything a human being can do. What's it like on the top of Everest? Is it good?
It's all right.
Richard, I went to a dinner party the other day and I sat next to a girl who said she couldn't believe that James May was still single.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
Anyway, look, tough times for car makers, as we know. They're all in really, really deep. Oh dear, I've arrived at a point where I can't say the word.
Yeah, you really have.
Deep mess.
Yes.
OK, now they've resorted to offering incredibly long test drives to people just to get them into the showroom, OK? Lexus will lend you a car for 48 hours, 2 days. BMW say you can go in one of their cars for 100 miles. Peugeot, 24 hours.
Peugeot?
Peugeot.
Are they surprised when people bring it back after 24 minutes?
That's enough of that.
Now, the reporter who uncovered this story, he says he went to a Peugeot dealership to try a 207, and the salesman said, well, I can go one better than that, sir. I can lend you a 4007. That's not one better, is it? That's 3,800 better, he went, just to try and get a sale. One better than a 207 is, work it out, it's herpes.
Yeah.
Think about this logically. How many people here drove down to the studio today? Everybody?
Peugeot is a brilliant car, best in the world.
What's a brilliant car?
Peugeot 406 with a 6-player CD.
That's you, told.
He's making a fine case for it.
Would you like to... I think he thinks that the Peugeot 406 with a 6-player CD is the best car in the world. Not an Enzo, as it turns out. We've been wasting our time. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to skip on down, if I may.
Please.
The number of lunatics in Britain has been halved. I know there's some evidence to suggest that they're out and in the countryside and among us, but I have arrived at this conclusion with a simple and alarming fact that came across my desk only this morning. Electric car sales are down by half, which must mean that loonies are fewer and far between. Really,